At the bottom of this little hill is a climb, a straight up climb. Short, sharp shock. There you go. Another Easingwold loop sign. So whilst the road swings round to the left towards Byland Abbey, going back to Laurence Sterne and Coxwold and the body snatchers, he wasn't buried twice. He was buried 3 times. Can you imagine being buried 3 times? And it's only relatively recently that he was brought back to Coxwold Church and buried in the churchyard by the Laurence Sterne Trust, which is a charity. But they couldn't be 100% certain it was actually him. but they think it was. Laurence Sterne was vicar of Coxwold village. We'll be going through Coxwold later on this ride. And they lived in a lovely old hall that became, he later named Shandy Hall after the hero in his quasi-autobiographical, get it right, book Tristram Shandy, which is a very strange book in several volumes, written in the 18th century. But that's not really what we're interested in the story. The fact is he died pretty much alone in London and was buried there, and as was the thing at the time, his body was dug up by the body snatchers who used to sell corpses to the dissecting theatres, where the anatomical theatres where surgeons would demonstrate the anatomy of bodies to an audience, probably of trainee doctors and things. Anyway, one of Laurence Sterne's friends was horrified to see that the body on the slab being dissected in front of him was his friend Laurence Sterne. And not surprisingly, he protested. It was stopped and the body was respectfully reburied. And then the Laurence Sterne Trust, as I said, decided to, in relatively recent times, applied to move his remains from London to Coxwold, which they did. And the reason they think they got the right corpse was because it had evidence of being dissected. I think part of the skull was cut off, sort of lobotomy type thing. So they're pretty sure they got the right guy. Pretty gruesome story all in all. So that's why he was buried 3 times. Why did they not prosecute grave robbers? Well, body snatchers. Because it wasn't actually illegal back then. Because it was deemed that once a person died, their body didn't belong to anyone, not even their family. So basically, you could do what you liked. I mean, it was frowned upon, obviously, sometimes, but the most punishment you could get was a whipping. And you just carry on doing it because it's quite a lucrative trade, imagine. Make a few bob from digging up dead bodies at night and flogging them to the anatomical dissection theatres. Here we are at the little village of Was. People and families used to go out of their way to make it difficult for body snatchers to dig up graves by placing large slabs, stone slabs on top and things like that. Pretty little water outlet. The thinking being that the body snatchers would go for an easier grave, especially as they were probably digging after dark by the light of candle-lit lanterns. This pub always smells gorgeous. And food. 7 days a week. Open. So we are swinging round to Byland Abbey. There it is over there ahead. I always think that this would make a prime location for the M.R. James ghost story, A View from a Hill, where he climbs up to this creepy gallows type hill, which there could be up there, for example, up in that wood overlooking an old ruined abbey which is there. It would be perfect. And he has these spooky binoculars with him that when he looks through he sees the abbey as it was before it was dissolved. I always think it's a bit of a strange location as well because it's quite boggy. There's a boggy sort of lakey thing here. And that there was a rose window, the bottom part of the frame you can see, which inspired the rose window at York Minster. So here we are. And as I said, there's a beautiful medieval tiled or pavement leading up to what would have been the altar. We turn off here, we turn right, following the cycle signs. And the Easingwold Loop sign. There's a cafe and pub there. Oh, I smell cooking again. I'm getting hungry. Oh, it smells gorgeous. And this is the old Abbey gatehouse. So beautiful. I need to probably take a photo. Or maybe not. Because it's got bollards. Bollards are not great in a photo. This is a quiet little lane though. It's really pretty. An old doorway. There is a walk that you can do all around here and it takes you past Byland Abbey. It's in the North York Moors edition of the Pathfinder, the Green Pathfinder walk books. The series that I did the Chagford walk from in Dartmoor a couple of weeks back. This takes us up to the pretty little village of Oldstead, and it takes us there through some pretty woodland. I think this is the best section of the ride. All the way to Coxwold. No, all the way to Kilburn. I mean, it's nice after that to Coxwold, yeah, but the prettiest bit between Byland Abbey and Kilburn. Coming up to the little village of Oldstead. It's a tiny, pretty little village. It too has a pub, which is coming up on the left soon. So many pubs. The Black Swan there on the left. Here we are, the loop signs. Sometimes they're brown and sometimes they've been updated and they're blue. Be interesting to come and do this ride, say in 6 weeks' time, to see how it's changed with full-blown autumn. Such a lovely little village. It's gorgeous. You do get the feeling that you're miles from anywhere here, really safe and secure amongst the hills. This is confusing, this sign, I always think, because it points as if it's going up there, but it isn't. It's going up where we've just come from. I always think that sign's confusing when I first did the ride. We just do some mini climbs up to another beautiful section through or past woodland. Somewhere on the right there's a gorgeous steep walk uphill all the way through the woods up to the top of Sutton Bank, up above the White Horse. I can never remember where it starts. I once did it. It's a bridle way, but you can't cycle up it. Not even on a mountain bike. Hello. So we have a lovely, lovely ride now to Kilburn. Really beautiful. We're pretty much directly below the White Horse hill figure. I have cycled up to the top on a couple of occasions without stopping to zigzags up. I think that's not the way you go. That might be the way you go if you're walking up to the top. No, that is the way you go up, that way. I'm pretty sure of that. If you're walking, not cycling. But do check your maps if you're planning, don't take my word for it. Very easy going now into Kilburn. Yes. Here on the right is the route up to the White Horse that zigzags up the hill. Should you feel inclined to cycle up it, do get quite a bit of traffic though, so it's not ideal. Now if you come to this point and you look behind, you get off your bike and look behind, you can see the White Horse figure on the hill. We're just coming into Kilburn village. which of course has a pub. If you cycle up there on the right, it's a beautiful route to Bagby, but there is the option to climb Sneckyape Bank up onto the top, which is not the most ideal route to go. There's the Mouse Mountains place. Smell lavender there, the pub. Yeah, as I was saying, Sneckyape Bank is cycling at its most challenging. It's pretty much vertical in places. Not one for the faint-hearted. That way just takes you up to where we were, near Oldstead. It's a bit muddy, that lane. Fly flew in my mouth. Yeah. Now we're heading towards Coxwold. In a while. Here we are, Coxwold. And the first place we come to is Shandy Hall, home of Laurence Sterne, the guy who was buried 3 times. Very old place. I think you can go around it. It's a little museum and there's a garden. It says there, Shandy Hall. Here dwelt Laurence Sterne, many years incumbent of Coxwold, or vicar. Here he wrote Tristram Shandy and The Sentimental Journey, another book. Died in London in 1763, aged 55 years. 68, I think it is. Here's the church with its octagonal tower, and I visit the church on my other video, the one that talks about Laurence Sterne. See the octagonal tower. There's a pub down here on the left which looks fantastic. It features on the Yorkshire Vet. I think it was last week. You can stay there and it looks absolutely really, really nice. Here on the left, the Falkenberg Arms. The Falkenberg. We're heading up to Newburgh Priory now, Georgian stately home that is open some days, closed on other days. There's also a tea room back there and a tea room up here, not always open. This is the old railway line again that we crossed earlier on. This is obviously would have been a bridge. It's just so overgrown now, you can't see it. And we also come to the other end of the gated road we passed earlier. So you can do a shortcut round down there if you want. As I said earlier, we'll be doing the original Easingwold Loop route before they seem to have rerouted it slightly. So we turn off onto the original route just past Newburgh Priory. Coming up on the left before that wall is the other end of that gated road. Back in the Howardian Hills. Named after Castle Howard. Here on the left coming up is the lake for Newburgh Priory. Lots of ducks and wildfowl. Swans. It looks like a cygnet. It's still slightly grey. Yeah, cygnets. Yeah. Seems we've got the swan parents and 3 of their cygnets. And assorted ducks. Aren't they sweet? I love the way swan parents stay together for life. And these 3 are their cygnets. Very restful there. Good place to have your picnic lunch. So it's tea room and bed and breakfast. Wednesday to Sunday only, tea room. And we're coming up to the gates on the left to Newburgh Priory. And the occupants of Newburgh Priory were buried in Coxwold Church. They've got quite fine tombs there. I think Newburgh Priory must be open today. This is Newburgh Priory. Well, at least that's Newburgh Priory stable block over there, and it's got that wonderful Virginia creeper climbing up it that goes red at this time of year. You see, there's a unicorn. It's got a gilded horn. And on that side I've got a stag type creature with gilded antlers and a crown. The rerouted Easingwold Loop goes straight on this main road. Now, I don't know why that is, but it is. So we will be going right here, and this used to be the signposting that it was a right turn. I mean, this looks like it's into a private drive, but it isn't. It's a proper lane. Takes you uphill through a kind of, well, skirting a farmyard. And sometimes you can see the alpaca lady off the Yorkshire Vet walking her alpacas. I've seen her on a couple of occasions. Because the alpaca farm's just down the road. Can get quite muddy up here. Be warned. So a bit of a climb. See, it's quite wet and muddy, isn't it? It's nearly the time for mud guards. And winter tyres. This can become quite a quagmire. Maybe that's why it was rerouted. Here we are at the crossroads, and the original Easingwold Loop goes straight ahead. It's much nicer than the main road, and the main road's a climb as well. This little lane sort of goes up and down all the way back to Easingwold. A few climbs, a few descents. Been cycling for 2.5 hours. Homemade ice cream as well. Oh, it's the same homemade ice cream as in the cafe at Ampleforth. The market's still on. Are they packing up? Packing up. So that was the original Easingwold Loop, and I'm going back to my car now. Lots of parking usually in Easingwold. I park near the church. But thank you for watching, and please do subscribe and like, comment if you'd like to, and please watch my other videos. Thank you.